and to the old members that have found their way back to the community. I need you just as much as you need me. And this afternoon live, on this Saturday early afternoon, I find it very important for us to touch base on a few things, including some, what I don't want to say is breaking news, but some developing news that we anticipated after a couple days ago when I broke down for everybody how back in 2016, 2017, Ripple was using trading bots, or was charged with using trading bots or their partners, or yada, 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 however you want to look at it. But it was a GSR trading bot. And to me, a surprising development was that the trade, and not so surprising, but it's actually worse than it could have been, in my opinion, as they use these trading bots to force the price up and to rid any price depreciation. And that was during the all-time run when we hit all-time highs in 2017. Remember, we've hit that all-time high and we've been rallying since, well, January 2018. But during that time, in the initial stages, they were found of using a trading bot. And we read the legal document that states it, that they were using bots so that the price would go up and not down. And if you think about how we had the monumental rally in 2018, it culminated in January of 2018. This was an incredible thing to read, and it was the official document to read in the court papers. And now, we speculated that now because of that, they were going to appeal the programmatic sales, and it doesn't make the SEC look just as bad as everybody said they were. So they actually had a leg to stand on because it's proven that they were in fact using trading bots so the price would appreciate. So they had partners that basically every time the price would go down, they had allotted shares or tokens that they would just buy with, or an allotted amount to use to buy with. So now the SEC is going to piggyback off of this, I guarantee it, because they already know what's in the works. It's official papers. They were using this to their advantage, as they should in a case like this. So it's not all black and white. So I guarantee they're going to appeal that programmatic sales. And now we're seeing some of that starting to transpire here on this Saturday. I'll read the article that comes with a lot of this information after we get through the technical analysis, because not just that we're worried about, but XRP had a close yesterday. And for anybody who was in the live last night, we talked about a daily close over 60 cents. It wasn't going to wait. It was going to have an immediate run up. Now, we didn't think it would go right to 66.6 cents, but we thought we'd have a volatile move up, and then we would have to have a retest back. And I will show you that area where we're going to have to retest to make sure that this move is validated. Otherwise, we could come down a little bit farther, and you could be talking somewhere between the 55 and 57 cent level if it doesn't properly hold this retest. Now, as of right now, it's not looking bad. And the great falling, once again, let me pull this out too for a little bit after we start getting into the technical analysis. The great falling went outside of his way again to send me his updated chart. So we'll look at this as well as we get into the technical analysis. So just know we finished the cup, had a bullish handle, a short-term one, and now we're starting to push up again. And he did a beautiful job showing exactly how we could rally up, but also the importance of a possible retest as well. So we'll go over that. And then when we get through this, we'll talk about this, because this is the big news today. SEC plans to appeal against programmatic sales, ruling in jeopardy. So we'll see exactly what that entails. So if you are watching now, please make sure to hit that like button so that YouTube will recommend this video or this live. And it'll allow not just for an expanded audience, but it might allow somebody who was in this audience before, who for whatever reason YouTube's not putting it across their feed. And now by everybody hitting that like button, YouTube recommending this, the algorithm picks it up, and now older users find their way back to the community as well as the newer ones. So with that, let me timestamp this. Good early afternoon, 12:57 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Saturday, March 2nd. Hopefully, what the heck just happened here? I think it just, I think I hit a button on accident. Whoops. Hopefully I'm still here. On this Saturday, March 2nd, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So some excitement in the air, a lot of nervousness, but a lot more excitement from XRP holders as we finally got over a very critical resistance line at that 60-cent pivot point. I expect a much lighter live tonight or this afternoon because it's the weekend. So I figured coming on the weekend, maybe I could have a more, let's just say, an easier back and forth, because I always feel like the weekends there should be a little less people because it's not in the trading week. So we'll see what happens. So let me just see if anybody's in here. 47 people in here on this Saturday. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please make sure to hit that like button, as it will greatly help us push through the analytics, or it'll help YouTube recommend this live, and it'll allow us to expand the reach during this Saturday. So let's just see if there's any comments, and then we'll get, I better grab my phone real quick because there are a few comments and I don't want to miss any, and then we're going to get into this. And we'll just see exactly where we're going to go from here. John Booglethorne, welcome in, and thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the emoji badge, with over 1 month, I mean, with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Thank you so much for that, my friend. I greatly, greatly appreciate that. Let's see. The Gatman, welcome in, and thank you for being in Tom's Army for over a year with the I Told You So badge. Says sunny days are coming, XRP like a train. It sure is. CJ2 Pilot, welcome in. Thanks for being in Tom's Army along with UK Phil for 3 months with the XRP Meteor. Michael Hudson, welcome in. White Lotus, yo, 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 welcome in. I appreciate you tuning in, my friend. CZam, good morning. He says, I think a haircut may be in your near future. Well, for anybody who's new and doesn't know, that's, I promised the audience I would not cut my hair until XRP hits $1. And that was back in July of 23. So it's been a full 8 months now. And it's getting quite long. And I also said I wouldn't cut the old goatee. So, you know, it's getting a little long. So we'll dip into this right now, though. We'll dip into the technical analysis. But I thank everybody for tuning in. I think I got to everybody. I guess not. Power Gear, welcome in. And thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the 589 badge. Trust me, this might not be the most popular. This may not be the most popular live with some of the information that's coming out. And some people might say, oh, you know what? Every time XRP goes up, of course, we'd have something that could damper it. But I'll tell you what, this move down right now, after we hit overnight, 65, and there's 2 very important areas of consolidation right now. First Saturday of the month. Of course, I go on right when they do the sirens. But we went up to 65.14 cents. As we know, we've been talking about for the better part of several weeks. From this January of 2024 formation, we were talking about the double bottom at 48 cents when it first happened, roughly 48.4, which could have been a triple bottom. And we've been anticipating this rally to 66.6 cents. Right now, we came up to 65 cents and a little bit higher. And now the consolidation, you've got 2 layers that you could hit. The one that I would like it to hold right now, and I have it on this chart, we want to back test this. And if we don't want to have any further retracement, we want to hold 62.5 cents. And hopefully that is the first layer where that could be a catalyst and it could help us being pushed up. Matt says weird sirens going off in Nashville, Tennessee at the same time.
Well, ours goes off every 6.
Yeah, but at the same time though, Julie. They're going off right now with ours. That's pretty cool. CJ2 Pilot says, is that the XRP alarm sounding? I don't know, is that the take cover sound, or is that we're getting ready to go? Yeah, I know. It's pretty cool though that we hear it in different places at the same time, I must say. Juan, welcome in. Thank you for tuning in on this Saturday. I give you all credit for tuning in on this Saturday. I know everybody likes to take a break on the weekends and sometimes they got to shut their phones off, but I can't. You know, I can't. I have to try to keep all the information flowing. I like to keep everybody in line. So our first layer retest right now is we're right there, 6259, and that was the former resistance. And then we came through and consolidated back down to the 57.7 cent level. What looks like we created a short term, ironically, even though you can only see it by wick, we even created a short term. I mean, we could have even created another short term cup with a little handle, but we all know that this was a little bit of a wider formation. And we know in the short term we came through, but that was something bigger if you go farther back. And it's actually doing this in standard operating procedure. And now you've come through here. We built this and then we came out. So now if we can back test 62.59 cents, we should be able to give it a go to 66.6 cents. Juan says, with your content, it's almost impossible to stay away. I appreciate that. You know, I'm pretty humbled here on this Saturday. I told you, I think I'll probably talk to 30, 40 people because it's Saturday. Unless it's nighttime during the daily close, then, you know, you can get a mirage of people that come in to watch daily close. But not normally for me on this time. I wouldn't come on a Saturday. But yeah, I said, you know what? I just feel like I have stuff to talk about. And with the programmatic sales, the possibility of that appeal coming down the pipeline very quickly here, we should be on the, you know, not onto, but up to the moment with what's happening with these details unfolding. So pay attention to this with the XRP price. If we bounce below that, we're going to have to hold, at worst, 60 cents from that pivot point that we held yesterday. But I want to show you a little deeper. And I didn't want to go into the cup on mine. So I want to show you what the Great Falling showed. I hope the Great Falling. Well, where I live in Michigan, the first Saturday of every month, they go off for whatever reason. So that's why my sirens are going off first Saturday of every month. So nothing major. That's why I didn't react. Something we're just used to. So what we're looking at, or that's actually, I forgot about the 61.5 cent level. That's where you could hit the in between. And that was the breakout of a former trend line. So he does a great job here. So that's the cup and handle. We formed the cup. You can see the low handle support. We came down and formed the handle, broke out of it, came past a major resistance and back tested that 574 level, 577, depending on what you're looking at. And now, if we swing back around, like we just showed a short-term cup, that handle would hold at 61.55 approximately. And then if that happens, that gives you a resistance to 71 to 75 cent range. And I love how he highlights that. That gets you anywhere between that range because we don't exactly know where that big resistance line is. But that's what we're looking at. So it's very important that we hold at least around the I keep saying 60 cents just so you keep the pivot. But we do have 61.5 underneath. You could stop gap it here by hitting the old swing high. And now we're back testing it as support. But at worst, we're going to want to try to use that 615 level as a support. And if we back test it properly, 71 cents is in the near future. Obviously, the catalyst would be to push over that 66.6 cent rising channel resistance. And then it opens up the door. Just remember, if you get above 75 cents, we have a stopgap measure. It's the overextension. The November of 2021 formation has a resistance around 80 to 82 cents. You break out of that, you broke through the overextension, and that pattern formation from January of 2018 is busted to the top side, which is exactly what you would want on a consolidation pattern. It's a converging triangle, as I like to call it now, but that started in January of 2018 when we hit all-time highs at 360 or 350, 330, depending on exchange. Took 27 months to come back down to February of 2000, or March of 2020, a 27-month consolidation it took for XRP to finally hit its uptrending support. So it's been a long-standing consolidation, and we're starting to come to a mesh point here. We're starting to come to a point to where we should be able to either come out of this consolidation bullishly, or it's going to tell us around 75 cents if, in fact, we are still bearish in this scenario. And then we would have to consolidate in the pattern, and that can go until December of this year, 2024. So just remember that, everybody. And if you are watching, please make sure to hit that like button so that YouTube will recommend this live. I see we've worked our way up to 92 viewers now. That's incredible. So 40 of you could hit that like button, and YouTube will recommend this live and allow new people to find their way here, and the older people that might want to see this live but are not in the algorithm anymore. I promise it helps out more than you could ever imagine. So pay attention to how we broke out of the short-term cup. We formed a bullish handle, as we've shown this before, and now we pushed back up. And now we're going to back test. We should back test 61.5 cents is what I highlighted in this morning's update. I highlighted, though, in this update, to start this live, how we could back test and somehow hold that 625 as that was the last hold and breakout. But it seems to me that even if we do this, 615 would be a more reasonable scenario. It's just 625 really could be a stopgap measure. It would be unusual, but it is the first area of opportunity for XRP to have a continuation here. Now, for everybody who's been paying attention for the last several weeks, I want to congratulate each and every one of you for staying the course. Not just the last several weeks, but obviously the last several years. But it was a very important last several weeks, and I'll show you why. Going back in the formation, when XRP did back here in January, when it did what looked like a double bottom, but could have been looked at a triple bottom as well from this first crash site here at about 504. Then we came down and did a double bottom here, a bullish Gartley at that. We were speculating at the time exactly what was going to happen. And if you're new, what we drew out, and anybody here can correlate this, we drew a formation that looked just like this, and then it would come up and retest that area. And now it's doing exactly that, and that's the January of 2024 pattern breakout. We broke out, we back tested beautifully, even came up here a second time and had a volatile swing back at 13%, pushed up, volatile swing back to 57.7. Now we're pushing up again. Should be another volatile move from 65 to 61.5 approximately. Maybe 62.5 is the hold. But in time, like I said, we should have between a 35 and 40% move from 488. And it should be around 66.6 cents. Once we get above that rising channel resistance, it should cap out around 75 to 82 cents, depending how we're running this. So, and this is the XRP market cap. We got out of the ascending formation, broke through a major pivot point at 33.9 billion. Now we should back test this. And even if we need to come down a little bit to build a bullish handle here, it's possible we could do that, but we've already built a handle and pushed out now, as you can see. And it's the same thing as with the XRP price action with the market cap. If you just look at this logically, it swung around, built down, not there, whoops, my tablet started to fall on me, but it swung around. We built this right in here, and then we shot up. And I know that looked jank, but that's what we did there. Now we're trying to back test this initial move. And that's at 33.96 billion. If that holds, look out, because we're going to have some volatility to the upside. And it is a little cold outside, so that keeps fogging up a little bit. So I want to make sure to keep that clean. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing on the initial charts for XRP. And then if you break to the July of 2023 formation, which was equally important after we busted the January formation, then you can see, and this is the rising channel formation from January of 24, and then it goes up to the June of 2022 rising channel, which is very important because that's what we're looking to run into. But if you go to the pattern outside of this, we got on top of the July of 2023 formation, and just like we're looking at in a two-tier leveling with the January of 24 formation, break out of that, and then you can see the rising channel resistance at 66.6 cents from June of 22. Now we broke out of this one from July of 2023, and equally, we can see the resistance up at the top, and this resistance point happens to be the all-time formation we're talking about at 75 cents. So that was very important. We broke out of this, and even when we broke out, we even said, don't be surprised if we have a major retest, because on the former one we showed, and then it did the exact same thing as the initial breakout, up and down. Now, is it going to have another one all the way back down? I would hope not. It could, but you're looking for a first-tier hold. 625, yes, but it would be unlikely. 61.5 cents would make more sense. We've already held a pivot point on the daily at 60 cents. So now we're trying to hold 61.5 cents would be a universal move up. Don't be like, oh my God, XRP went to 65 and some changes and is now back down. This is beautiful. You need to see these consolidation moments and liquidity tugs so that not just the relative strength gets in order, but you start to get buyers in the demand zone again, and then you start leveling off to the next tier. And then ultimately, if we do continue to move up in a bullish formation, and somehow we get outside of a pattern formation that's gone since July of 2024, July of 2018, or what the hell am I? From January of 2018, if we get on top of 75 cents, then we can start talking about this pattern. Our speculation, we already drew this in. This was the cup that I was talking about. Before it moved out, and we speculated how it breaks out and how it moves out, and now it has. But we even came down and retested the uptrending support from the November 21 formation. So this it told us that this was going through here before we had the breakup. And now this suggests if we play this pattern true, and let's just say we break through everything we talked about, 82 cents up here at the top. So this is your extension zone, as I call it. If you do break out of a 6-year consolidation where you did have all-time highs and now you've been consolidating, this would be your extension to say, okay, it's true. We broke 75. We break over this layer. Now it's starting to. Now we're going to start to roll. Then we would firmly have in sight the 94-cent swing high from July of last year. And after that, we would have firmly in our targets that $1.97. And I know it sounds crazy from 2021, that $1.97 high, because now after breaking that formation for 8 or 6 years, now you would have the technical target of $1.97. We've already got it all figured out. And if you're new, it's just if it plays out in this manner. We like to have everything already finished out, formulated, and be able to see things before we actually move. I need to bring this into a higher time frame. Otherwise, I'm never going to be able to even find what I'm looking for. So this is what we're talking about. If this consolidates, this started in January of 2018. We had all-time highs. It needed to go all the way until December of 24, possibly, to finish this out. And I've been showing this since 21. So it's pretty interesting that we're at this time now, that we're in this time. Please make sure to hit that like button. Only 66% of you are hitting that like button. If you respect my work and you appreciate the fact I'm here on a Saturday and giving it you my all, hit that like button so that YouTube will recommend this video. If you do appreciate my work, it is the start of a month. Consider sending a YouTube super chat one time per month to pay it forward for the exorbitant amount of time I put in, or consider joining Tom's Army and getting an emoji badge so that you too can show your appreciation and you show that you respect my time. And if you look at the pinned comments, if you're like, how do I trade XRP, whether on leverage or spot? I want to get into the rotation. On the pinned comments in this live is BITUNIX. USA users, it's the place to be. No VPN. The spot fees and leverage fees are the lowest in the country. So you're not paying the exorbitant fees of Uphold. And once again, it did not go down during high times of volatility, during that 13% drop, like the likes of Uphold always does, which I love, but it always goes out. Like the likes of Kraken and Coinbase and Binance and all the other exchanges that always go down on routine. I'm sick of it. So I started doing a case study with BITUNIX last July. It has not gone down on me. It was up during the high times of volatility. And the spot fees are so cheap that I don't have to worry about Uphold, and I can send my stuff wherever I want after, whether wallet, whether back to Uphold, yada, yada, yada. Take advantage of it while they still do it. There's deposit bonuses, extraordinary ones, depending on how much money you put in. But take advantage of it. I'm just sick of supporting exchanges unilaterally that go down on routine. I still have a lot in Uphold. I'm just saying, I need something that doesn't go down on me. And now, since I've been doing this for almost 9 months, it's time that we start talking about this exchange. It's been working very well. Oh, JB, I appreciate you, Tom, and I will be joining Tom's Army after the bull run. No, don't apologize, my friend. Let me make this clear. That is for anybody who has the ability to pay it forward, who's made some money off of me, you know, who's found a routine in this and they appreciate my time. Not everybody's in that category, so don't feel bad about it. You being here watching this is just as important. By you watching it, it's pushing YouTube, the YouTube recommendations. So you commenting is important. The ones hitting the like button is important. So don't feel bad at all. We're all going to get there in our own way, I promise you. Bitcoin right now is down 490 points at 61,944, or down 0.78%. Not looking bad. It's not that it's looking bad. Bitcoin just needed to consolidate. And we've speculated that if it comes up to the top of the cup at 69K, that we would build a very wide handle that could bring you anywhere between 38,000 and around 52K. Because technically it could sweep the entirety of this length all the way back down approximately. So we're going to be looking for this, and we're thinking this is going to line up with April of 2024 as we've been speculating. CJ2 Pilot, how are we doing on the likes? 79% right now. We're at a 79% like rate. Out of 100, there's 100 people in here, 79 have hit the like button. Or at least that's what it looks like to me. So we're doing pretty good, honestly. Infamous, welcome in, and thank you so much for tuning in and being in Tom's Army. I know it doesn't show on there, but you've been in Tom's Army for quite some time, so I just want to continue to acknowledge that. I know it's on your other account that doesn't work, so I do appreciate you as always. JB says, I'm watching the shadows, and you're the best, brother. Much love and respect. I appreciate that, JB. And I appreciate you coming outside the shadows as well today. You know, I do appreciate each and every one of you in your own right for being here. It means so much to me to see so many people on this Saturday. I'm blown away. I'm blown away that so many people have decided to tune in on this Saturday. I genuinely am. Axel, welcome in. You missed that? Yep. A lot of people did. A lot of people did, but I will say one thing that I'm very proud of. I promised everybody from the start to the end of this rally to 66.6 cents. In my actual videos, not my lives, just my videos, I would put that same exact thing. So every 20-minute video you see on here, look how I put that exact same formulation where I was showing 66.6. I would show it with the update, and this is going back. When did I start doing that? So, because I didn't want anybody to say we didn't, nobody showed us, nobody told us. I've been doing this for, you can see how long I've been doing it. For the last, over 2 weeks. Over 2 weeks I've done that exact same thing, starting over 2 weeks ago. And you can see how low the price was. It was still within around that 50-cent range, because I knew what was coming, and I wanted to make sure that anybody, even if they're new, could log on and be like, all right, that's what's coming. I don't even have to guess. He keeps putting the same thing, and it does. Like I said, at times it makes me look stupid because I'm so far ahead, but it usually, not usually, it typically plays out. So I thank everybody who stays true to this. And like we said, 69,000 is the likely scenario, but Bitcoin has found itself in a formation, and just pay attention because it's playing true this entirety. And the technical target on a breakdown would be 57,855. And I find it even more interesting that the technical target on a break up would be the exact technical target from the broadening wedge breakout at 66,252. I mean, it hit it exactly. We did it during the live. You can't make that up. So as much as I think it could go down, with those two targets lining up beautifully, I think it pretty much simultaneously signifies that we will reach 66,252 here in the short order. Now, I'm not willing to say that we're not going to correct first, but I've got both scenarios right in front of you. If it breaks down from 61,800 approximately, we go down to 57,853 on confirmation. And if it breaks up out of this on confirmation, we have 66,252. So very wide. Very wide. So in the audience, what do you think is going to happen with Bitcoin? Do you think this is going to break out of this formation, or do you think we break down? Everything you need is there right in front of you. All of the major pivot levels, including the cup that it's working on to 69K. I don't change anything. I keep it here whether it goes up or down until it finishes. Because it's going to happen one way or the other. Whether or not we want it to happen, whether we acknowledge it, whether we want to act like it's not going on, it's still going to happen. So we might as well just get with it. It's exactly why I showed the 625 level, just in case that holds. Because yes, 615 is a likely tap. But 625 can hold because that was the old swing high before the dump down to 57.7. Broke up to 65.17 approximately. Came back down to about 6254. So now you've at least hit that first tier. So if it pushes up, you can say, well, we had a likely consolidation. But if it pushes down, we know every reason why it needs to go down to 615 after breaking out of a short-term cup, building a bullish handle, and now back testing. If you would like to join me with some cannabis, as it's legal where I live, and it's been a godsend to me and a lifesaver since I was 23. Never smoked it when I was in high school or anything like that. I wish I would have, but broke my back when I was 23. They had me on every single pain pill you could imagine. After about 6 months of that road, they wanted to put me on morphine licks, and I said, I got to do something. I can't even remember the days. And I switched to this, and I haven't taken pain pills in over a decade. Maybe even longer. I don't take pills of any kind, not even prescription pills. Unless I'm on a deathbed, I won't even take an antibiotic or anything like that. So, yeah. So it's been a godsend to me. And I don't say that out of justification. I say that because I look at it more than a drug. I look at it as something that's essential for me to live. Infamous says, got family in town, got to take off. Infamous, have a blessed afternoon and give my love to your family as well. Hopefully this update brought you some information. I apologize for not covering the programmatic sales so far in 30 minutes. You know, I told you we had to do a deep dive, everybody, into the charts first. XLM, another one, if you were just paying attention, I told everybody this pattern was coming up to 13.5 at worst. And then if it breaks out of this, we're going up to the next tier. And this should have lined us up with 66.6 cents approximately. Look how accurate that was. 13.5, XRP at 65.17. It doesn't get any better than that. And now if XRP breaks up to that 70-75 cent area, XLM's got a nice area up here at about 17 cents next. So I try to do this in a very, very way. I need to look at what JB said. He said just a heads up, and I missed what his comment was. So that's what we're looking at for XLM. It's done beautifully exactly what has happened. If it needed to consolidate, remember, if it keeps doing this inside this pattern, and we have another retest, let's say Bitcoin does go down to 58K and gets rejected at this formation, then it would show you something like this, right? And then it would just continue and boom. Or if it breaks down, you know, it's down around 8 cents. So I think it's pretty damn interesting what's going on here. And I also appreciate the fact that this community, with our dedication, as I say, consistency breeds response. So by being consistent, it breeds a response. Well, the consistency in itself is going to give you the proper information, the proper understanding, and the proper technicals from not just the charting side, but also from the news understanding. By being consistent, it's going to breed a response. Well, anybody can breed a response. If you're not being consistent in what your endeavor is, you're going to breed the wrong response, you're going to form bad habits, and before you know it, you're going to be down in the red, because we're talking about crypto in our portfolio. If you breed the proper response through consistency and the proper fundamental information, you get it from the right source. And I'm not tooting my own horn, but I think our history from 21 proves that we are diligent, we tell the truth, and we could care less about the FUD here. You're going to form the proper response, and then your portfolio is going to explode. We're nothing short of a bear market right now with our cryptos, and yet our portfolio is built from 7,000 to over 15 grand right now, almost 16. But we're in a bear market with the altcoins. I don't own Bitcoin. I don't own Ethereum. I don't have any desire to own either of them. I think they're piles of shit. Bitcoin, I would never support something. If I send $1,000, they're automatically taking 80 to 100 bucks off the top on most cases. If I send 500 bucks, you might as well just say goodbye to 50. I don't support that. And then it takes forever to get there. I'd rather just spend a fraction of a penny. Not just XRP, our ISO and IoT ones are capable of it as well. So there's reasons why I do what I do, and there's reasons why on a Saturday I'm here with you still. I believe in the work ethic, but I believe in, if I'm going to tell you something, I better be here every step of the way to keep you in the proper fundamental understanding. HBAR put everybody through a ringer yesterday, the leverage traders, and this is why I hate leverage. It perfectly came up to 12.4, perfectly. The technical target that we put out there was 12.4. It hit that absolutely perfect. And then what does it do? If you're a leverage trader, you would go from 12.4, and let's say you think it's going beautiful. Then it has the liquidity grab, and it drops 10%. 10% in 2 days. Well, let's put it in proper perspective here, folks. This bounced off of here, and let's take this away. It bounced off of here on February 29th. By March 2nd, not even March 2nd, it came back down on the February 29th. So after it hit on the 29th, it goes up here and hits it, and everybody's probably thinking it's beautiful. And then within a matter of hours, you find yourself down 11.39%. Now, because you survived that consolidation, and this is what's happening with XRP right now, and we're getting it in the comments a lot. It comes up here. So now all of a sudden people think they're doing good, they're in leverage. All right, well, we're going to come up to 12.4 again, because obviously we're going to hit that swing high. Now it reverses on them, and 8 hours later, where it's looking good, they're down 7%. If they're on a 10x trade, they're wiped. Forget about a 20. 5x, you're hanging on by a thread. That's why spot is king right now. All of this up and down, left and right, volatile nature, it's killing people. And right now with HBAR, it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. It's done nothing wrong in its formation at all. In fact, it's doing it in a manner where we can easily understand what's going on. It's a very basic understanding formation. There's nothing too difficult to see here. We're in a rising channel or a bull flag extension, but it's in a upward consolidation, which if it breaks down, this could be a bearish consolidation. So we have the target at 0.87 if it were to break down. If it's a bullish consolidation out of HBAR, it'll go up to 14.3. We won't know until one side or the other gives way. What I will say now is we might be able to highlight this pattern a little bit because it did come up here and it couldn't get up a third time. Now, technically, it didn't hit that uptrending resistance. It was close. Very close, but it did not actually. I mean, we could say, if you put it, yeah, okay, that looks better. So 3 hits on resistance. You've gotten 3 hits on support. So now the pattern's confirmed. And now the fact that it's a rising channel, oftentimes these signal a bearish reversal from the top. But because it came in through a bull flag, we don't know if it's going to be a bearish consolidation or if it's going to form into a upward move here up to 14.3. But I have all bases covered here for HBAR. For anybody who's new, 132 people here. Now, I don't know where everybody came from, but thank you so much for tuning in. And if you are tuning in, make sure you hit that like button so YouTube will recommend this video. And if you are looking to trade XRP in the USA at the lowest spot fees or leverage trading fees, look at the pinned comment. That's BITUNIX. You don't have to do a KYC if you don't want to, and you don't have to have a VPN. And they have been around since the lawsuit started, and in high times of volatility, I found personally that they don't go down. So I'm starting to show them even more support than I used to. So that's in the pinned comments of the live. And if you are looking to send a donation but don't want to do it through YouTube, there's Cash App is also pinned there as I've had requests. And I actually have to thank somebody because I seen it yesterday, but it was after I was on the air. So if you are watching in the abyss, I like to thank everybody who sent a donation. You sent a $15 donation via Cash App yesterday, and I apologize for not seeing it while I was live. But Stephen Langley, thank you so much for the $15 donation. If you're watching on this live now or after, thank you for sending it via Cash App. I greatly appreciate that pay it forward mentality. And I always ask the audience, if you do appreciate what I do, consider sending one YouTube super chat per month or via Cash App, or join Tom's Army as a simple token of your appreciation for the fact I don't do paid promotions, advertisements, or sponsorships. I don't promote any whack coins or any weird products to get your money. And I don't charge you for my portfolio. We just do this day by day by each of our own due diligence. XDC, we've talked about the breakout coming. We talked about how I bought in an extra 13,000 approximate tokens up to 40,000 from 27,000. I bought it at 397, and I told everybody in the rotation when they asked me what was the best buy right now, I said XDC was very undervalued, and now it's come up 7% today, about 12% since I advised everybody of that move. And I more than that, I told everybody down here when I bought in, if you have not bought into XDC, we could very well be on the verge of a 96% move. I promised myself if it came under 4 cents, I would top it off at 40,000 tokens because I bought it at 2.8 cents originally, 27,000 tokens. So I bought the other 13,000 tokens right here. And now, like I promised everybody, it was going to be an immediate move if you bought this rotation. Axel, thank you so much for the $4.99 donation. I greatly appreciate that. Kyle, with YouTube's new thing, unless you put it on a recurring subscription, you have to do it every single month. If you don't let them do it automatically, you have to do it every single month for it to re-up. A lot of people don't know that, but it's true. A lot of people, you know, that's just how it goes. And a lot of times, like, terms of service is updated again for me as a YouTube provider, as a partner. So it very well might be the fact that you guys might not be in Tom's Army and you think you are, because every time I have to sign an updated use to terms, you guys have to re-agree to keep the monthly subscription going automatically. Because with their terms, it's going to make everybody agree to it as well, not just me if I have to. So consider that if you're not part of the Army and you thought you were. And if you have issues beyond that, you can always email me at strutrugali@gmail.com. Thank you so much. Best exchange for XDC in your view? Unfortunately, you can't buy it on BITUNIX. This is one of the tough ones. I actually bought XDC and bared the brunt on Uphold. Uphold has a lot of the ones I need that other exchanges don't have as well. But for me, Uphold worked the best with XDC. Yes, there's a little higher fees, but sometimes you got to do what you can do. If you go into my YouTube video description on this live, there's a link that I make very easily so everybody can just copy it or click on it in my description for Uphold, because I obviously use that as well. So yeah, take a look at that if that's what you're looking for. Very good, Captain Crypto. I don't know what time you bought it, but you very well could be out ahead right now. But yeah, uphold makes it seamless. It's just you have to go through the high times of volatility when the exchange goes down all the time. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Excellent, Captain Crypto. So we knew an immediate move was coming. And if we validate this move, the technical breakout of the full pattern is all the way up at 8 cents, which is like a 96% breakout. But I'm not trying to trick anybody. And I'm not bullshitting you either. This entirety of this formation came up here. And then we came into an expansion zone, right? So we can say it started here through the expansion zone. So you would say it started here. Because this is how you get to your first tier target. And I'm not bullshitting the audience. I'm not making you think it's just going to go up 100% right off the bat. And that's the only thing. When you talk about an expansion zone, now you've got to get through the expansion support or resistance as well. Otherwise, this is just a fake out. So I've been more and more trying to find the expansion zone before a breakout. And we nailed this one. I'm not going to lie, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn. We nailed the expansion zone on XDC. There is no doubt about it. This is probably one of the better ones we've ever done. And now first target's 5 cents. So don't get it twisted. We got to get above 5 cents. It's going to look like a fantastic rally. Even at 5 cents, even from here, we still got another 15%, capping off the initial 25, 26% move. But in order for us to validate this swing, that is a huge point. Huge. And then we're going to have another one where we're going to have to get over here. It's not going to come without its pain. 5.9 we're going to have to get over, and that's going to be a cup that's going to form. So then you're going to get more consolidation up there. So let's just put it in for what it is. Underneath, and we're not going to put this up here right now because that's going to confuse. But that's a stopping measure, and I'm going to take it out. But that's only there if we had to finish this pattern out 100%. And come down here to 2.7 first. And this would have run its course until April of this year. Almost May. Fortunately for us, we expanded out like we thought through the expansion zone. And now XDC looks friggin' fantastic. So for anybody who's been trusting and has had the faith these last 3 years, especially if you've been around since I told everybody to sell XRP in 21 when it was at $1.66. For the record, we were in at 47 cents. And we did a wholesale liquidation of our entire portfolio with everything we had. And we didn't buy back in. What is going on here? Why is this not working? There we go. We did not buy back into XRP until 34.6 cents. And the rest of our cryptos were at their appropriate spots. Everything was between 90 and 99% off in DGB's case and some others. And it's just been an unbelievable transition here. Just unbelievable transition for us. And I'm so proud and blessed to have each and every one of you along for the ride. And now I want to read this story, though. I've been talking for too long, I must say. And if you didn't see this and you're just tuning in, this is what could theoretically be going on with XRP and the great following. If you're out there, thank you so much for your input and sharing this chart. We've had the short-term cup, as we talked about, the handle formed perfectly. Now a back test is either going to be 62.5 at the former swing high, as it's back tested it already, or it's going to go down to that 615 handle, and then it's going to allow it to swing up as long as we stay bullish. And our next target's going to be first 66.6 cents, and then we're going to come between 71 and 75. And that would retest the all-time high downtrending resistance from 330 to 350, and this would be the third hit of resistance if we can come up near 75. So consider the volatile moment we're about to get in this part of XRP's history. And if you're trying to trade it, look at the pinned comments for BITUNIX. Welcome for USA users, lowest spot fees and lower leverage fees. So just consider that if you're trying to buy it. There are always ways around the US regulation. Some companies know the truth. So this is the big news. This is the big news today. And we speculated about this before. So XRP news today. SEC plans to appeal against programmatic sales ruling in jeopardy. On Friday, XRP gained, and we're going to read the key points first so we know what we're getting into. And this was posted at 4:32 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on March 2nd today. On Friday, XRP gained 2.47%, ending the session at 60.17 cents. SEC versus Kraken related updates and views about SEC plans to appeal against the programmatic sales of XRP likely contributed to the gains. On Saturday, SEC versus Ripple case related news and crypto spot ETF related chatter need consideration. So this will catch us up on all fronts. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the reading. Now that we got the technicals under control. So on Friday, XRP gained 2.47%, following a 2.19% rise on Thursday. XRP ended the session at 60.17 cents, perfectly closing, I might add, against the pivot point of 60 cents on the daily candle for the first time. And as we stated yesterday, it would initiate an immediate bullish push. We didn't need another retest, and that's what we got up to 65, and now we're going to see where we go from there. SEC versus Ripple related case-related updates garnered investor interest on Friday. The court approved the SEC request from February 29th to amend the court ruling or briefing schedule. In the filing, the SEC requested for a 1-week extension to the deadline for filing its remedy-related brief. The SEC must now file its remedy-related brief by March 22nd. Additionally, the SEC requested amendments to the filing dates for Ripple's remedy-related brief and the SEC reply brief. The new court briefing schedule is as follows. So if you're not familiar, pay attention because it's upcoming in just about 20 days from now is the next relation to the SEC. So March 22nd, the SEC must file its remedy-related brief. April 22nd, Ripple must file its remedy-related brief. And then on May 6th, the SEC must file its reply brief. After the remedy filing, Judge Annalisa Perez will decide the penalty for breaching Section 5 of the U.S. Securities Act. No trial is involved in the remedies-related penalty phase. In July 2023, Judge Perez ruled Ripple breached Section 5 for XRP sales to institutional investors. Judge Perez also ruled programmatic sales of XRP do not satisfy the third prong of the Howey test. However, I believe what came out and what we got to see in public light is the exact reason why the SEC is planning to appeal the programmatic sales ruling, because we know for fact, and I shared it a couple days ago, and if you didn't see it, go back to the live, and I talked about how the Ripple, it was proven that they were using RGB trading or GSR trading bots to manipulate the price up during the 2016-2017 rally. So I knew once I seen that this was going to happen, and we've been preparing for it. So the SEC plans to appeal against the programmatic sales ruling is under threat, and you can go see what I'm talking about during that live. I share the exact court document, the most important part of it, so it's pretty interesting. So the SEC faces increasing obstacles to appealing against the programmatic sales ruling. Several events could end SEC's plan to appeal against the programmatic sales ruling, including and that's why this case is important. SEC versus Coinbase. Investors await a court ruling on the Coinbase motion to dismiss MTD. Coinbase argued the SEC lacked the statutory authority to regulate crypto exchanges. If Judge Falia grants the MTD, the SEC may end its regulation of the U.S. digital asset space through enforcement, which is huge. Office of Inspector General is nearing the end of its investigation into crypto conflicts of interest within the SEC. If the Office of Inspector General finds the SEC acted, the Securities Exchange Commission, biased against XRP and Ripple, the SEC could end plans to appeal against their programmatic sales ruling. The SEC versus Kraken finds a motion to dismiss in February. A ruling in favor of Kraken could also impact SEC's plans to appeal against the programmatic sales of XRP ruling. The SEC will need to win the cases against Coinbase and Kraken. Significantly, the OIG must find no wrongdoing by the SEC. In contrast, the XRP community may need one favorable outcome to pour cold water on SEC plans to appeal. On Friday, Coinbase Chief Legal Officer Paul Grewal shared the latest updates from the SEC versus Kraken case, saying, Montana just filed a rather remarkable amicus brief in the SEC's enforcement case against Kraken. 7 other states support it. Diminishing fear over the SEC's planning to appeal against the programmatic sales ruling would be a boon for XRP. XRP is up 2.83% year to date, trailing the broader crypto market by sizable margin. The crypto market cap is up 41.57% to 2.27%, or the 2.27 billion year to date. So put that in perspective. Total crypto market cap is up 41% year to date. XRP is up 2.8%. Severely undervalued in today's terms. Significantly, an NTSC plans to appeal the programmatic sales ruling could open the door to an XRP spot ETF, which is another way to boom the market. So we can see the price action. We talked about it. Some of their important levels to come. 63.5 cents, which is the swing high right now. Well, not swing high, but that's also an area where you could say a cup was forming. And then the handle comes down anywhere between 58 and 61 cents, if you want to look at it like that. But then the next push up from there should be, it should say 66.6 cents, but we'll give them a break. They're going at the 70.47 cents. I think the article was done pretty well. Whoops. I think the article was done pretty well, so I can give them a pass on that. They did a good job on the charts too, so it's not that it's bad. They're just missing a key resistance in between. Well, they are going to do that daily chart right here, so this is fine. XRP remained well above the 50-day and 200-day exponential moving averages, the EMAs, confirming the bullish price signals. Significantly, the 50-day EMA closed on the 200-day EMA, another bullish signal. An XRP break above 63.54 resistance level would support a move toward the 70.47 cent resistance level. The OIG investigation and SEC versus crypto case-related updates needs consideration. However, a fall through the 62 cent handle would give the bears a run at the 5835 support level, 58.3 cents. The 14-day relative strength index reading of 73.25 shows XRP is in overbought territory, which we've talked about. XRP could face intense selling pressure at the 63.5 cent resistance point. XRP, looking at it from a 4-hourly chart, XRP sat well above the 50 and 200-day exponential moving averages, reaffirming the bullish price signals. An XRP breakout from the 63.54 cent resistance level would give the bulls a run at 70.47 cents. However, a drop below the 62 cent handle would bring 58.35% support level into view. The 4-hourly relative strength index with a reading of 69.37 shows XRP on the border with overbought territory. Selling pressure may intensify at the 63.54 or 66.6 cent. If we can get above that level, would intensify it greatly. Resistance levels on that rising channel resistance. So I thought that was a good way to tie it all in. As we are approaching the end of this, we got about 7 minutes left here. And then I got to give it a rest. My voice is shot already. And I still want to do possibly a live tonight. I know it's Saturday and I'll still be blowing double duty. But when you are so in tune like I am, and you want to keep the audience as in tuned as we are, it only makes me feel that I need to come here each and every day. Shiba is up 33% over the last 24 hours as well, as it continues to be on a tear. So just, it's amazing what's going on in some segments of the market. It really is. It really is. And we know we have a target right now. And I know it's crazy because I don't cover it, but I do have targets. That's our target right there, was 0.000025502 after we broke out of that formation. And now it's going right there. I mean, I put the targets out there. I should have probably bought more than $100 of this. It's up like 600-700% now from where we bought it. But I definitely should have bought more than what I did. In the current run, it's probably up about 200% from the breakout. And it was looking at a 210% move up here before it hits a major resistance. So be cautious if you're in Shiba, but be very optimistic. Very optimistic. Algo is up 5.03% to 24 cents. We know our technical moves and how we wanted to break this out. And right now we're looking, let me get this out of the way. This kind of looks stupid. I put that up there so everybody could see. Let me just bring it back into real term. Let me just get rid of this because this is pointless. But Algo's on its way up. It's broke a pivot point, and now it's on its way back up. It's going to try to hit 28 to 30 cents is the bottom line. There's nothing in between. We didn't have anything to worry about. That's why I didn't stop it. I know we have a cup, and now we put in a bullish handle. We had it drawn out before, so I'll put it back in so everybody can see now that it broke to the top. We had this set up like this, and now we can see it's broken out. Next layer should be up here around 28 cents, and we'll see if it gets on top of it, because then it'll layer up and it's going to end up, whoops, it's going to end up hitting down there around, holy crap, that could be up at about 45 cents. So for anybody who bought algo with us on Winning Wednesdays, congratulations. We bought it at just under 10 cents. We got up to 7,700 tokens on our way to 10,000. We were only spending 75 bucks a week because we did it budgeted when things were in the accumulation phase. We did a fantastic job, and you're doing a fantastic job right now as you're up about 150% right now, or 140% on algo. Like I said, XRP continues to lag behind. It's our weakest performing asset, unless you look at XDC and XLM, which I always think is tied to XRP. And even being the weak, I mean, put it in perspective. From 1 year ago, if I said your worst performing asset that you bought, and just think about this year over year, I bought this in approximately March of last year. If I told you your worst performing asset to date would be up 83% year over year, what would you say? I just want to know. Because everybody bags XRP, and it's usually because they don't know how to buy it or they don't know how to sell out in different cycles. So I don't argue with them, but I bought it at 47 cents in 21. Amongst a lot of backlash, I sold out at $1.66 after it proved $1.97 resistance, failed at $1.70 on the push up, and I said, uh-oh. Match it up with the uptrending support back from 2020 after the all-time high swing down. And I matched it up with a buy-in around 34.30. I said I'd buy it under 40 cents. And now we're running from there. So year over year, if your worst performing asset's 83%, I'd love to hear from the comments. What would you say? Year over year before we leave. So that's what we deal with. So when somebody tells me your XRP's not doing diddly squat, well, I put $3,500 into XRP last March, and it's up over, what, 6,000, 6,200 right now. So sure, if that's the case, if I can turn 3,500 year over year into 6,000, 7,000, and it's a bad performing asset, so be it. So be it. So that's where we're at. If you are watching till the end, I suspect that for some reason I might not be able to see comments. I might have cut it off for some reason, unless nobody's commenting. But that seems very unusual for so many people being in here. Martin, welcome in. Yeah, see, it stopped some time ago. Rick, no, you're welcome. Thanks for saying I'm the GOAT. Mario, or Marie, I mean, you're welcome. You're welcome. Martin, welcome. Rick, good afternoon. Yeah, see, it stopped on the chat. I knew it did. Hopefully it'll come back, but it didn't. Crypto Scrooge, welcome in, and thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the 589 badge. Make sure you guys all watch Crypto Scrooge. He does a fantastic job on Sologenic and things tied to the XRP Ledger. The visitor, when do we come? See, I missed a lot. This sucks. I did not know that it cut off the chat. Unbelievable. When does it come to 80 cents? Well, we just talked about all the levels that it would have to push past. So we would have to push past the 75 cent formation. So I mean, it's going to take a little bit of time, but according to MACD, the moving average, convergence, divergence, we are set to have an explosion here on a proper consolidation. So just consider that. If you are tuning in and you appreciate my work, consider sending a YouTube super chat, joining Tom's Army, and getting the emoji badge on YouTube. Or if you don't want to donate through YouTube, consider the link with Cash App in the pinned comments. If you appreciate my work and you want to pay it forward, all I ask is one time per month. Consider sending a pay it forward or just a token of appreciation, or consider joining Tom's Army. If you're looking to trade XRP or your favorite crypto, pinned comment below or the video description. Look at BITUNIX. It allows you to buy XRP in the USA. No restrictions, no VPN needed, and they have the lowest spot and leverage trading fees, which is why I found myself there more times than not. So I'm starting to put into favor the ones that stay up during high times of volatility and yada, yada, yada. So I do appreciate each and every one of you. Before you leave, please hit that like button so YouTube will recommend this live. I cannot believe the show of support today by having over 100 people for the majority, well, the whole time until I said goodbye. I did not expect this kind of showing today. So you have completely humbled me on this Saturday. Pay attention to everything I said about the market. With XRP, we're looking at, if we do get a retracement, first level 62.5, more likely it would hit about that 61.5 level, 61.5 cents. And if we hold these consolidation zones, we're looking for a close over 61.5 at worst. And that should help trigger our move up to about 66.6 cents. And then a close over that, or a confirmation over that formation from June of 2022. We have our eye set on 70 to 75 cents. So, but our technical target is basically fulfilled up to 66.6 cents from that descending triangle that formed in January of 24. So everybody who's already up some 35%, if you just got in at that point, have a sigh of relief. You did an incredible thing, and now you've got a great opportunity here if you're a long holder, because now you can watch in the spot position, not like most in leverage, and you don't have to worry about the volatility. And if it does come 20% below that 48-cent buy-in, you buy 20% below on 5 different buys from your first buy-in, and then it should help bring your average down better than 50% if it does have a cataclysmic drop. So just consider that advice. Have a blessed afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for tuning in during this live.